Okay, we gotta talk about that finale for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. Or should I say 9 kingdoms? What's up everyone, Chris from Cinema Hooked, and tonight I'm here to talk about the latest episode, the season finale of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, which, moving forward to season 2, are they going to change the title of the show to A Knight of the Nine Kingdoms? Because we did get that little image at the very end after that funny little scene with Prince Maekar. Curious, do you think they'll change the title? This video will be full of spoilers, so if you hadn't seen the episode yet, don't watch this video yet. Go watch the episode, then come back and tell me what you thought in the comments. That way we can nerd out about it. Which also, if you're new to this channel, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button down there, hit the little like button like the sign there says, and let's dive into tonight's awesome season finale. Bam! Right off the get-go, we've got humor, ladies and gentlemen. Now, there are probably going to be a minority of people out there like, the show was just stupid, it was silly. You may not think so, but over on my TikTok, people have said that this show is too funny, it's too humorous, it doesn't take itself seriously. But I would argue that this show balances humor and seriousness absolutely perfect. We see a sulking Sir Duncan the Tall, and he's just kind of sitting in his own despair. You know, he feels guilty about the death of Baelor Breakspear, and Lionel Baratheon's trying to make him feel better about it, and he kind of cracks a joke about like any dead dragon's a good thing, and Sir Duncan asks him like, do you have no respect, or something along those lines, and you know, Lionel just ain't having it. He doesn't care about a dead Targaryen. He couldn't care less. Lionel was even courteous enough to extend him an invitation to Storm's End where they would hunt together and he could, you know, live out his days at Storm's End. It would have been a pretty good life for him, but it's not the life Sir Duncan the Tall wanted. He wants to be a knight, and that's all he cares about. We then see the pyre that was built for Prince Baelor Breakspear Targaryen, and we see Maekar and we see his son Valar grieving. Dunk somehow has the nerve to show up to this funeral and then, you know, approaches Valar, who's obviously mourning, and kind of asks him the simple question. It's like, basically, why would the gods let you live and my dad's dead? It was a really uncomfortable scene, but one that we really needed to see. Then we see Sir Dunk have a nice little embrace with Sir Raymond, who tries to make him feel a little bit better about the situation, but that's, you know, a little bit of goodness, a nice little scene. But then right when we get a little bit of goodness, we see some Targaryen soldiers come down, and they say that Prince Maekar is requesting Sir Dunk the Tall immediately. They also make him walk and limp all the way to where he's staying. I felt really bad for Dunk. Now we get to the juicy part of the episode. I really wanted to see, because we saw it in the trailer for the episode, we see that there's going to be some moments between Dunk and Maekar. And we get to see Maekar, and I've done some other videos about Maekar, how he feels about Baelor's death. You can check out the video right there. But I mean, he's grieving. He feels terrible that his brother died, as he should, and I felt like that was conveyed really well in this scene by the actor. I thought the scene in general was really great, but also I thought it was awesome what Maekar was offering Sir Dunk, which to my surprise, he turned it down. And again, I have not read the book, so all of my knowledge basically coming from looking up Wikipedia articles and trying to read up on this stuff, but to find out that he turned him down, I mean, to be a knight and have Egg squire for him, and have his master of arms still train Sir Dunk, who obviously is lacking in skill, which a lot of people wanted to point out from episode 5 that he's not that talented of a knight, but he's just a teenager and he never really had any proper training by Sir Arlen Pennytree. So yeah, I was really surprised to see that he just turned that down. He said he's done with princes. We then get a nice little flashback of Sir Arlen and Sir Dunk sitting on a trail, just one of those random trails they would take as they roam the kingdoms. And, you know, Dunk asks him, you know, how come you never made me a knight? And we get this moment where we're like, oh my God, like, oh, this is the death scene. Oh man, that's so sad for Dunk. Like, he didn't get his answer. And then boom, Sir Arlen snaps back out of it and says something like, you know, a good knight always finishes a story. And then I don't know, you know, it cuts back to present time. I don't know if like that's actually when he died. I think it might be, but it's kind of messed up that Sir Dunk never really got the answer of why, you know, Arlen never made him a knight. Also want to jump back just a little bit, because back when Dunk and Maekar were talking, Maekar tells him about how he's sending Aerion off to the free cities of Lys, gonna send him off, see if maybe that makes him a better person. But if you know anything about Aerion, that is not the case. He does not become a good person. And I just put out a video today where I talk just about Aerion and what his future has in store for him. We then get a quick little scene under a tent where people are eating and conversing, and then we see Prince drunken Darren, and Dunk walks up to him and says, how do you have the nerve to show up here? This is all your fault. Prince Baelor's dead because of you, but there really doesn't seem to be that much remorse. It's after that we see this episode take like a really dark turn, and I did not see this coming, but Arian just absolutely beaten to smithereens by Sir Dunk in the last episode, laying in the bed, recovering, passed out, asleep, whatever. But then you've got Egg walking in with a knife behind his back, like, that's crazy. Of course, he pauses. Maekar sees what's going on. He embraces his son because he loves Egg. And as we see in a coming up scene, he tells Dunk that it's his only son. He's completely disregarding Arian. Arian just trash. He's throwing him away. He's sending him off. He's exiling him. Wants nothing to do with Arian. Egg is just his prized prince, and it's all he cares about right now. In a 180 turn of events, we see that Dunk changes his mind. He says, you know what? I will have Egg squire for me, but I'm going to do it the way Sir Arlen did it for me, and we will travel the roads, and we'll stay at inns. We might stay in a stable. We might sleep up against a tree one night. But Maekar's having none of it. No, he's going to be in a castle. He's going to have knights surrounding him, protection, gold, steak every night, whatever he wants to eat, all the women he could want, just a prince's life. But Dunk's like, then I won't do it. I'm not going to Summerhall. Which was still such a really good offer by Maekar to give him that. But I get what Sir Dunk's doing, I feel like that will make more of a man out of Egg. Of course, Maekar just shuts him down. He says, no, he's my last son. As I said before, he said, it's my last son. He's not going anywhere. We then have a nice moment with Sir Raymond and Sir Dunk, and basically a parting ways type of thing. Raymond bought him his horse back, but Dunk refuses and says, no, you should keep her. She'd be good in an orchard because Raymond's going to go start making ciders. It was a nice little scene between the two, and I hope that we see Sir Raymond again down the road. Have you read the books though? Let me know. Will we see Sir Raymond again? Because I really did like that character. And just how we heard the story back when Sir Arlen and Sir Dunk were sitting at the tree, and he told him about how when a knight would get called off by their king, that they would hammer a penny into the tree, and if they were so lucky to live and come back from the war, they would take the penny back down. And we do get a nice little scene where Sir Dunk pays his respect to Sir Arlen Pennytree and pounds a penny into the tree. It was a nice little touch to, call back to that scene we saw. It was just really nice. I thought it was a really nice little way to kind of wrap that up in a bow. Just as Dunk's getting ready to leave that realm, leave that city, and just travel the roads, there we see Egg. He hops the fence and he says, my father says that I can squire for you. And my first thought was, and my wife said the same, she was 50-50. I was like, is he running away again? Is he causing another mess? Is he running away from his father again after everything that just happened? Prince Baelor Breakspear just died because you decided to run away. We get a nice little scene with them riding their horses, just asking questions, and Egg saying that he wants to see all 9 realms, and him and Sir Dunk get into a little debate about how many realms that there are, and he's like, well, wait a minute. And then Egg tells him all the 9 realms. Then we get this nice, beautiful shot of the wind blowing through the wheat in the field. Kind of makes me think of the end of Gladiator, but we see Sir Arlen, it's obviously just for visuals, but we see that he's riding alongside him on the horse, and then he kind of just steers off because his journey's over and he's going away. But then Dunk and Egg, they're just starting their journey. And I thought that was a really nice moment, and then bam, a Knight of the 9 Kingdoms. And again, I'm curious, do you think that they'll actually change the title of the show moving forward into season 2? Then the show ended, which confirmed me and my wife's suspicions about Aegon running away. And sure enough, he decided, I'm just running away with Dunk. And Maekar is so pissed. So I'm curious how much of a time skip we're going to get in season 2. I doubt they've announced that yet. I'm sure if you've read the books, you know exactly where this is going to kick off next. But hey, if you want to inform me, leave a comment down below because I'd love to converse with you guys about this episode, about this season, about the future of this show. And if you're like me and you're not exactly an expert on all things Westerosi, you can check out that video there that focuses on Maekar, because the more I watch this show, I've been rewatching Game of Thrones. I've been reading up and, just trying to find out more about these characters. What was Maekar's the rest of his life like? What did Aerion do with the rest of his life? It's all really interesting stuff, and it's crazy the world George R.R. Martin has created here, and he's got so many fans, and all the character details, when you've got 14 and 15 kings, and then you've got the whole Game of Thrones show, like, It's all just, it's amazing storytelling. I really liked the season finale. I thought it wrapped things up in a nice little bow, left us on a cliffhanger of Egg running away and us not knowing what's going to happen next for the young prince, but I can't wait to find out. And again, if you're new to this channel, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button down there and hit the little like button like the sign there says. I'm going to be doing a lot more Game of Thrones, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and with House of the Dragon about to come out, I'll be breaking down each one of those episodes every week it comes out. So like always, let's keep the conversation going after the video ends, and I will catch you guys in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.